It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here for this Tuesday morning, the 31st day of August, and is brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates Country Financial, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, Murphy Builder Supply, and First Southern Bank.
Most people understand the need for life insurance, but not many want to talk about why it's essential to your financial plan. It may seem intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Don't get overwhelmed. Get started with Country Financial. Call me, Sean O'Quinn, today at 588-1051 and let me work with you to find life insurance that gives you the protection you need at a price you can afford.
Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance Company and Country Investors Life Assurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings restaurant in Jessup is now open for business, practicing social distancing, but still serving that great food that Damon's is famous for. Come inside or come through the drive-thru, but Damon's is open inside and welcomes back its customers. The menu's the same, the service is fast, and the food is fantastic, and the sauces remain the same, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. The number is the same, 588-WING, 588-9464. Damon's Restaurant on West Cherry Street in Jessup, dining room now open for business. Come on in and enjoy a great meal today.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
The world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
World-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup Big Dog Country Radio. 2 minutes after 8 o'clock here on this Tuesday morning, 31st day of August. And good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Well, yesterday morning we had the newscast, and then we had Joe Arati from the hospital here, and then all kinds of stuff happened yesterday during the day with the county commissioners, with the school board. And so you've been on top of all that, and tell us what's going on this morning here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, Bob.
Well, the county called a meeting yesterday afternoon to read this declaration, state of emergency. So we got Chairman Herschel Hires who read the proclamation and signed it along with the other commissioners to have him come in and explain what all it means, because, it says state of emergency now to September 28th, but the question is, Herschel, what does it mean? I mean, there's no mandates, no requirements, no business to shut down. So what was the purpose of the proclamation?
Bob, the purpose of the proclamation or the resolution is to bring the attention to the people of Wayne County of the dire straits we're in. Our community is in the middle of the hotbed of the state of Georgia for COVID-19 infections and COVID-19 vaccination rates being the lowest in the state. We were very, very explicit to make people understand that this is not a mandating nor a prohibitive resolution. It is a resolution to bring it to people's attention. If we don't get vaccinated, our numbers are going to continue to rise and our deaths are going to continue to rise. As it stands right now, as of this morning, in our hospital, which we have 88 staff beds, 57 of those beds are occupied by COVID-19 patients. 18 of those folks are on the ventilator. And it's extremely sad. But that leaves us, I think, 13 or 14 beds open in case we were to get more admissions or normal, an accident, a heart attack, a stroke. It doesn't leave us much room, and it's it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated, and that's what we're trying to stress, is that the only thing that takes these numbers down are vaccinations.
We've been talking the last couple of weeks, telling people, of course there's all kinds of political implications. People made it political, but we've stressed, if you have any questions, the best thing to do is call your family physician and ask for their advice. Again, the resolution has some statistics in here which are, pretty much tell the story. It says since the virus appeared in Wayne County in 2020, there have been 3,701 confirmed cases of COVID-19, which amounts to over 10% of the population. Since the virus appeared in 2020, there have been 88 confirmed deaths caused by COVID-19. As you mentioned, with us being in the hotbed, unfortunately, those numbers are going to continue to rise, and people are knowing a lot of these people that are passing away, which is a sad thing here in Wayne County. But we've been stressing the last several weeks, call your family doctor, get vaccinated. So basically you're saying that's what the county decided to do, just to declare this state of emergency, just to make people aware of what exactly is taking place here in Wayne County, and encourage people to call their doctor and get vaccinated. Because the only way, like I said, we said it, they've said that for weeks, it's the pandemic of the unvaccinated. And that's who it's targeting. And if you're vaccinated, you're pretty much protected from going to the hospital or getting deathly ill. But those not vaccinated, if they get it,
that's right.
You're pretty much rolling the dice.
Last week, of course, Joe Roddy, the hospital administrator, and Stacy Drew, who is the lady in charge of the local Department of Health, we converse daily. And as a lot of people well know, we have a weekly COVID-19 task force meeting of all the local community leaders, whether elected or appointed. And this declaration actually came out of our last Friday's meeting. On Thursday of last week, I reached out to the governor's office to request some help because Wayne County serves not only Wayne, but also several surrounding counties. With our hospital, we're getting overwhelmed. And the governor's office assured me that they were doing everything they can to help us with staff. I think out of this 2,500 National Guard personnel that the governor has ordered up, Wayne County should get several nurses or medics of some sort to help with our local folks in the hospital. The staff is weary. To look at the despair in some of their faces after they see what they see during a day, a 12-hour day shift, it's heartbreaking. And one of the things in reaching out to the governor's office was to try to get them to consider staffing a regional overflow hospital here in Wayne County and possibly in Ware County. That brought us to an agreement with the Department of Corrections. In the event, and we hope and pray this doesn't happen, but in the event that we get so overrun by regional patients, we may look into taking over the old Wayne CI prison and turn it into an overflow hospital. We do not want to do that, but that's one of the what-ifs we've considered. We've got to have somewhere for these people to go to get oxygen, to be monitored, and that's one of the things we're looking at on the horizon. Yesterday morning, I reached out to the governor's office, and he agreed and upheld the passing of this declaration because he sees the need across the state. We only see the need locally, but we're hurting. We're really hurting. And I'll just share some numbers quickly with you. I mentioned that we not only support Wayne County, but we have other counties around us that don't have hospitals, and their vaccination rates and infection rates are somewhat a little lower than us, and I think a lot of that's got to do with our drives we've been putting forth for vaccinations at the hospital. The hospital's been good enough to have Friday vaccinations. Long County has a vaccination rate of 20% for one dose, 17% for fully, lower than ours. Brantley, 25% one dose, 20% fully. Appling, 34%, 28% fully. They're more in tune with us. And then Pierce is running right along with us with 33% one dose and 27% fully. So we've got to get the word out, not only to the people here in Wayne County, but also around us, to try to get these numbers to come down. You mentioned in the declaration that I stated we had 3,701 confirmed cases of COVID-19. That was as of yesterday. This morning, that number has risen to 3,841. That means since yesterday, we've had 140 confirmed cases hit Wayne County, and one more death that we are aware of. And you know, this thing is hitting so close to home with loved ones and friends that are passing away from it. It's incumbent upon us as community leaders to come forward and say, look, folks, the only way to control these numbers and get them down and protect our children so they can attend school and protect our loved ones is to get the vaccination.
And to put into full focus, the numbers are not the highest in the state. They're the highest in the entire United States of America. I mean, we made the national news on Sunday on these talk shows where they put the statistics in Wayne and Pierce and Apple and Long, and all those counties were up there as the highest COVID cases percentage in the nation.
That's right.
I mean, it's
not
right here. It's right here in Southeast Georgia. Unfortunately, it's hit us hard. You know, people ask about the mask and all that. I know we were all wearing masks at the county meeting yesterday. Right. That's another thing. You're just encouraging people to be smart. If you're going to a grocery store or going somewhere, you might want to have a mask. Yeah,
you know, and I've heard the argument against the mask. One of the arguments that that I had thrown at me the other day was a sheetrock worker that's dusting with sheetrock. When he gets done at the end of the day and he pulls his mask off, he's still got sheetrock dust around his nostrils. What they don't consider is how much sheetrock dust is on the outside of that mask that didn't get through. And it's the same way with this virus. We don't know how much it really protects, but if you compare that sheetrock analogy, it's protecting some. You know, it's kind of like a seatbelt. It doesn't always work, but it works most of the time, and that's what we have to rely on.
And looking at this resolution, they've got several sections. Section 3 says any part or parts of this resolution in conflict with Governor Kim's executive order dated August 19 shall be voided from the resolution. So basically you're saying whatever the state orders, that trumps what is locally ordered.
Yes,
is that correct?
Yes, I had to be explicit to explain to people. If the governor comes out with another order or an addition to an executive order, that supersedes this resolution. And this resolution in no way mandates anything that is not in a governor's order.
Okay. Yep. If just joining us, Chairman of the County Commissioners, Herschel Hire, is with us. Again, the commissioners met yesterday, passed this resolution stating there's a state of emergency in Wayne County up until September 28th. So could the September 28th date be lifted before that? Or it all depends on how the numbers go?
By all means, if our numbers take a quick drop, you know, we could lift this, but I don't know that there will be any need to, because we still need to focus on the vaccinations and reiterate the fact that people need to get vaccinations. And if I could put this in, you know, the hospital, like I said before, is giving vaccinations on every other Friday. They're so taxed now with staff. One of the reasons they quit with the vaccinations was those people that were given vaccinations now are needed on the medical floor. So the Department of Health has taken the flag on giving vaccinations here locally, and a person can get any of the three, whether it's Pfizer, Moderna, or J&J. They can choose which one of those vaccinations to get here at the local health department.
And there's a lot of other places giving the vaccines as well. So you can just check with your family doctor. They can, and a lot of the doctor's offices are giving it as well. So, excuse me, that's one story going on with the county.
Let me add a little bit to that, if you don't mind.
Okay.
You know, when I mentioned the COVID-19 task force meeting, one reason we started that many months ago was to ensure that no one entity in this county was stuck out there on their own making a decision that was going to affect the community by themselves. So when the Board of Education announced their totally virtual learning, you know, I want to go on record. I'm in full support of that. I've got grandchildren in school. I've got a daughter that's an educator, and their health is paramount to me. And if it takes us having to do this, even though it's not good for the children to not have the interaction, if we have to do this for their health, then we've got to work together, get through it, get these numbers down, and try to get back to it as normal as possible. The other thing is the hospital and our other healthcare workers. You know, we are trying to stress that if you have a medical need that can be handled by your local physician or the diversity clinic or the health department, try to take some of the stress and taxing off of our emergency room, because there are long waits, and some of it is things that can be handled in other ways. Be patient.
And just be blessed we have a hospital here.
Amen. And a fine one, and a fine one at that. I mean, I hear across the state, I hear people bragging about how our local health care facility, our hospital is managed so well, is staffed so well, and does a superb job, and we are fortunate to have it.
All right. As I mentioned, the other story, the commissioners set to meet this coming Friday to set the millage rate. Good news on the horizon there. There's discussion they're going to roll the millage back some.
Yes,
have any idea how far they're going to roll it back?
Yeah, we're pretty sure. And of course, we went to final look at the tax digest, but we intend to roll the millage rate a half a mil above the required rollback rate, and so that people understand the rollback rate. Your taxes go up every year just because of inflation. That's a given, and we're required to either announce that there is a tax increase if we don't roll that rate back, or we have to roll it back. And this year the percentage is 0.167%. That's how much people's taxes have gone up just because of inflation. So we'll roll it back that amount plus another half a mil, in keeping with our commitment to keep bringing this millage rate down. So we feel certain that we can do that. Now, one reason we consider we cannot roll it back a full mil like we did last year is a couple of things that have happened through the year. Of course, the expenditures we've had with the pandemic. We felt the need to increase the number of ambulances we had on call at all times, or on staff at all times, and to pay to try to keep EMTs and paramedics. So we had a cost of around $300,000 for that this year, and our next thing is going to be fire service. We're going to have to spend about the same amount of money to keep the fire service as good as it is and try to enhance it a little bit in parts of the county.
How those meetings go between the county and the city on the fire protection, because that was the thing. They want to make sure the rates stay low, the ISO rate, and make sure those homeowners insurance don't go up. So
right.
How are those meetings going?
We're accomplishing a little bit. Of course, Commissioner Thomas and Commissioner Roberts are representing the county in those meetings because they have more at stake in their districts than we other commissioners have. We're making some progress. And I think what we're going to wind up being able to ensure one way or the other is that the city of Jessup is able to maintain its ISO rating, so its residents' fire premiums can stay what they are, and also in the county, in the unincorporated areas where we are obligated to keep those premiums as low as they can too. I think we'll come to a resolution of some sort here in a few months.
In the other story, of course, Commissioner Ralph Hickox has resigned to run for mayor. Talked to Tammy, and the special election can't take place until March of next year, so that seat sits vacant for about 6 months because state law, you can't appoint anybody to fill that position. Is that correct? That's
correct. The state allows for 2 special elections a year. Those are in November and March. Had Commissioner Hickox resigned a couple of days prior to his resignation, that position could have been filled in November in accordance with a special election of the city.
Kind of like what the mayor did.
That's right. That's
Mayor
right.
David Earl Keith. Mayor David Earl Keith got out in time for the city to have the special election in November. So.
Yeah. So as it is now, that election for the county seat of District 5 can't be held and can't be filled until March. For
right.
Special election.
So that's just the way it is. Because people have been asking that question. Why can't they just appoint somebody? Well, state law says you can't do it, and you have to wait for the special election. So just want to make that clear. That seat sits vacant from now until March of next year.
Had it been I believe a statute is within a year's time, then the county commission could have appointed someone to fill that seat. But outside of a year, it has to be done by special election.
Right. Well, Herschel, we appreciate you coming in. Once again, want to stress this state of emergency, that the county basically just trying to make people aware how bad the situation is here in this part of the state, especially here in Wayne County.
It is.
As you mentioned, unfortunately, the numbers positive cases continue to rise daily. The number of deaths continue to rise daily as well. And again, it's just a sad situation. And again, they're stressing this, the pandemic of the unvaccinated. They're just encourage you, if you're not vaccinated, to call your family physician, ask for their advice, and they're hoping that people will go out and get vaccinated. And I mentioned the other day, there was a store in Atlanta. They had a mall where people were getting vaccinated, and the traffic was out on the interstate. and they went from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and gave away like 2,500 vaccinations in that afternoon, but people waited 6-7 hours to get vaccinated. So I think the message is starting to get across the state. I think it's getting across in the area. Like I said, the hospital had those 3 vaccination. The first time they had 50, second time they had 100, third time they had, it built every time. So I think the message is slowly but surely getting out among people. And I think people are contacting their family physician and getting the word that you might get vaccinated.
I hope people go by the people that they trust and not try to get their medical advice from social media and internet. And on that note, with the hospital, when the hospital quit, then there were still people that have to get their second vaccination. The hospital will administer those people that got their first vaccination at the hospital can get the second vaccination at the hospital as well. They are still going to do those. And Bob, a few weeks ago, Mayor Keith and I put out a public service announcement where we tried to show the fiction or the myths and the facts, so that people would understand some of these myths that are going around simply aren't true. And I had a lady get on me pretty hard because I'm not a medical expert. She really worked me over, and the way I wound up putting it to her, because I'm not a medical expert and I can't argue those facts. The way I put it was this: I've attended numerous funerals of friends and acquaintances, and spoken at funerals where COVID-19 took someone from our community. I have not attended the first funeral for anyone who passed away from taking the vaccine. And that's about the best note I can leave on. Just get the vaccination.
We have several texts that came in this morning, and I'm not going to try to get in the middle of asking the questions and you trying to, back and forth here. Tell folks, they've got all these tax questions right here, and expenses and taxes and all kinds of questions here. How can people get a hold of you so they can talk to you directly, so you can have a conversation with them instead of me being the go-between between their question and you?
My cell phone is 912-318-5218.
That's 318 what now?
5218.
Okay.
If they would text me first, it would be better in case I'm already on the phone with somebody.
Well, that's usually what I do. I'll text somebody, say, please give me a call back, because you don't want to interrupt somebody.
Right. They can email me at hires@waynecountygeorgia.us. And if I can't answer the question, I'll certainly get them in touch with the tax commissioner or the chief appraiser or someone that can answer their questions.
Okay, so just get a hold of Herschel at 318-5218, and you can ask him directly some of these tax questions right here that have been coming in about taxes, expenditures, all that kind of stuff. And so that way you can get right from the horse's mouth himself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you letting me come on, and I hope that Joe's coming on yesterday and sharing some facts, and then the declaration and the facts that I've shared, the numbers I've shared this morning, certainly help people get out, contact your medical health care provider, and get vaccinated.
And that's mainly what we've been saying is go talk to your doctor, get an opinion from the health professional that takes care of you.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll be back more of the world famous Butch and Bob Show in a moment right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup.
Hi, my name is Emily, and I'm 8 years old. I spend each day wondering if I have food in my tummy or if my parents leave and come home. A lot of times when they do, they are so drunk they don't even notice that I'm there. My stepdad gets really angry and takes it out on my mom. My sister and I hide in our closet until it's over. Sometimes he hits us really hard. He says what happens at home stays at home, so we aren't allowed to tell. Besides, who would listen anyway?
Nobody longs for a loving family more than a child. By becoming a part of Tri-County CASA, you can help hundreds of children who live right here in your community. Tri-County CASA is currently looking for volunteers who have a heart for helping abused and neglected children. If you'd like to help make a difference, become a volunteer. Contact Pam Holmes at Tri-County CASA at 912-367-0064.
South Georgia weather.
Here's your WIFO forecast. Early clouds, but a partly sunny day. South winds 10 to 15. 30% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, low 90s. Mostly cloudy, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mid 70s for tonight. Tomorrow, partly sunny, 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, upper 80s. Thursday, sunshine, high of 90. Georgia Chief Meteorologist John Weatherby in the Georgia 811 Weather Center. Contact 811 before you dig.
When further treatment is no longer an option, hospice can provide services to manage symptoms and difficulties caused by illness. Emotional, psychosocial, and spiritual care, as well as support to the families and caregivers, are all part of hospice care. Hospice of South Georgia has been a part of the health community in Wayne and surrounding counties since 1998. The professional yet compassionate attention provided by our staff is unsurpassed. Widely supported by donations from the local population, Hospice of South Georgia is the local nonprofit hospice in Wayne County. Our administrative office is located at 1625 Sunset Boulevard, and Hospice of South Georgia accepts anyone who meets hospice criteria, regardless of their ability to pay. Please call 912-588-0080 to speak with someone about hospice care. That was 912-588-0080. We are your hometown hospice, and we are here to serve you. Hospice of South Georgia, working to add life to your days.
All right, 825 Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. Well, Bob, no extracurricular activities for Wayne County High School, middle schools, anything of that sort. So no football games, no softball games, no volleyball games, right? And no cross country.
Not until further notice. We know the first football game this Friday night is being called off, but like I said, anything after that, just have to wait and see. Like I said, the school board does meet Thursday, so we'll see if anything changes. But right now, the big question people had, why was the day optional in-person attendance for day students? Like Dr. Kelly said, he didn't want to hit everybody one time. Some families have to make arrangements, who's going to take care of the kids at home while they're at work.
Right. You just can't just spring that phone in the afternoon if you can help it.
So that's why the day was optional again. But tomorrow to Friday, all schools are closed to get ready for the distance learning. And then Monday is the Labor Day holiday. Then Tuesday, September 7th, the virtual learning will begin in Wayne County schools. So again, they're going to go a 2-week period and then reassess. But if the numbers change, they'll hopefully go back to the hybrid schedule. But we should get an update on Thursday's meeting. They meet Thursday at 10 a.m.
Okay.
They have also the millage issue. I think they're looking to lower it $0.5
Is that the
Board of Education?
Board of Education. Okay.
So everybody's doing their millage rate at this time. But like I said, talking to Coach Cribb yesterday afternoon, the word got out, of course, on social media the entire season's been canceled.
Social media, you just got to believe it. Everything on there is a fact. Yeah, right.
So none of that's true. So
it is not being canceled for the year. Just this one game has been canceled, folks.
Right.
And then they'll take it week by week.
Right. And also, Coach Cribb said they're going to try to pick up an additional game, have an open date so they can get a game for that week as well. So, again, we'll just take it week by week. But all we know for certain is that this Friday night game has been canceled against Richmond Hill.
Okay. And that's it. That's all we know is just this 1 week.
Right.
So it's going to be a week-by-week decision on what the Board of Education is going to do in terms of classes, extracurricular activities, all that kind of stuff. Even though you've got counties like Glenn County who have gone to virtual learning, but they're still playing their ball games.
Same thing with Ware. That's why I asked Dr. Kelly yesterday, why the difference for Wayne County. And his statement was that the Board of Education at this time feels that if you're not going to have school, you don't need to have extracurricular activities. So whether that changes on Thursday, we'll wait and see, because a lot of people are hoping that they'll reassess that. And so, like I said, one thing people keep talking to me about, and it's true, kids under 18 are not the ones going to the hospital. So, so it's really not affecting them. People are getting the COVID, but they're not getting symptoms.
They're not bad enough to have to go to the hospital.
Stuff like that. So, like I said, we said it from day one. These people making these decisions are in a tough spot. They're trying to do what they think is right. So, like Joe said yesterday, you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. So, but they made the decision yesterday to go this virtual learning beginning on Tuesday, September 7th. They're looking at numbers daily. They're reassessing, and they're just stressing that, people that aren't vaccinated need to call their family physician and take their medical advice and hopefully get vaccinated, because That's the only way the numbers are going to change. I mean, they're calling it the pandemic of the unvaccinated, and that's the problem. You look at all these counties around us, the percentages of people that are vaccinated, and like I said, here in Wayne County is less than 30%. Other counties around us is less than that. So hopefully those numbers can change.
And in the state of Georgia, it's getting close to 50% to be vaccinated. But here in South Georgia, it's less than 30%.
And if you're a sports fan, you watch what's going on athletic-wise. NCAA came out, SEC came out yesterday and said, look, if your team doesn't field a team, it's a forfeit. So Georgia has already told, and Kirby Smart's come out and said his team's almost 90% vaccinated. I mean, they're making sure their athletes are vaccinated because they don't want to go get in a big game where they can't field a team and it's a forfeit this year. So,
right.
So all these NFL teams are the same way. I think I'm not sure. I think the Falcons might have been the first team that said
yeah, Falcons were the first team that was totally 100% vaccinated.
Right. That's what it was, yes, and a lot of other teams. And, of course, there's other teams that coaches have been let go because they wouldn't get vaccinated. Players have said they're not going to. I mean, it's an ongoing debate, but it's going to be interesting this college football season when your favorite football team has to forfeit a game because players on their team aren't vaccinated. So all those coaches are stressing to their players that they need to get vaccinated and be ready to go. And Kirby Smart says his team's almost 96, 97% vaccinated, ready to go. So he doesn't think that's going to be an issue for Georgia. But SEC commissioner came out yesterday and made that statement that this year, if your team can't field a team in a game, it's a forfeit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we'll keep folks updated on everything that's going on. We just once again want to emphasize with the Board of Education when it comes to classes and when it comes to extracurricular activities, everything's being taken on a week-by-week basis. Whether there's going to be, I know in class situations that's done for the next few weeks, but extracurricular activities is done on a week-by-week basis. And keep it tuned into 105.5 FM. We'll keep you updated with the facts, the truth of what's going on with our county, with our city, and with our Board of Education.
And we'll know more Thursday from the Board of Education. They have a meeting that morning at 10 a.m.
All right. Anything else, Bob?
Nope. Looking forward to Georgia-Clemson this weekend.
Georgia-Clemson.
Getting
right
excited.
there playing in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Go Dogs.
Yep, go Dogs. All right, have a good day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Country Financial, and by Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, Murphy Builder Supply, and First Southern Bank.